So the next items are 3 murals made by Find Memory Care. You'll notice with each one that they're individual, so we have the bistro, the candy store, and also the public house. And I'm really glad to introduce Karen Clayton to you to explain all about murals and about these 3 pieces. So welcome, Karen. We have 3 impressive ones. We're going to go through each one individually. So we have the Cafe Bistro. I really like this one. Can you tell me a little bit more?
Yeah, the Cafe Bistro murals are probably the most popular one we do because they're an area that's already available in a home. Everybody has a dining room. Many people will want an additional space to create maybe an activity cafe. The mural depicts what's available in that area, so it's very recognisable. We all know, for instance, tables and chairs. If that particular one was created for a care home, that would be on the outside of a dining room or a cafe because you can clearly see the tables and chairs behind the window. If it was an area you were creating and that was the backdrop, then it would be more opaque because we don't actually want residents to feel there is something behind the wall. Everything that's interactive is in front of the wall. It sounds a little bit strange, but we know it works really, really effectively.
That's really clever. And I do love the fact that you can see the tables, the chair. It gives you that sense of ambience. So the next one we have is my favourite. Obviously, it's the public house. So
Yep.
Tell me a little bit more about the public house.
Well, the first thing I would say, Glenn, is could you imagine going to the pub and it being shut?
No.
No. And it would be exactly the same in a residential care home. So if you are creating a pub, it's essential that you can go and get a drink there. And again, if it's the outside, you clearly see the drinks inside. If it's within a pub itself, we would make it more opaque, so it's setting a scene. And then in front of there, you must have a bar unit, you must have tables and chairs that people can sit on, and ideally you'd also want the furnishings like your dartboard and all your games, your dominoes and such like, and even a TV, because people who go to the pub predominantly are still male from that era, and would love to watch the football and the rugby away from the main living area.
And it's an interesting concept, and I like the fact that it brings those memories out. And finally, we have probably where my son would like to spend the most amount of money, the candy store. And this is quite an interesting one because I can really imagine you dressing it up on the outside.
Yeah, I've seen some wonderful examples. I've seen Candy Crush corners where you can't get near because people are sitting in front of these murals, really eating their way through bags of sweets. Every home's slightly different because they all have different rules on food, but they attract people. And again, rather than sitting in your lounge all the time, you're giving people somewhere to walk, therefore they're getting more exercise, they're reducing the risk of falls, they're building their appetite, so they're eating more. When they eat, they drink more as well. So it's not just about it being a really interactive place to go and get something to eat, it's all the other benefits that come from having that available.
That's great. The last thing I want to touch on is obviously infection control and ease of putting these up because they look so impressive. We want to make sure that for all of our clients at the item that it's quite simple to put up. So can you tell me how easy that is?
It's a wallpaper. It's digitally printed wallpaper. So a medium to a strong paste. Paste the wall, not the paper, so that you don't stretch the paper. Really straightforward. And you can keep it clean just with a damp cloth with a mild detergent. So
and I suppose most of those environments where they're meant for will have a maintenance man to do that, so that's great. From an infection control point of view, we're in COVID-19 time, so are they easy to wipe down?
Yeah, just a soft, damp cloth with mild detergent.
Fantastic. So those are 3 amazing murals by Find Memory Care, and you can find more murals. Actually, that's really hard to say, but more murals on the item.